looks like it's adventure time. Is that a B? Yeah, that is a B. That's a big B. This is Nissan's popular SUV, the Rogue. In its third generation, it recently went through a mid-cycle refresh, but the 2025 model year gets some tech upgrades, and for the first time in Rogue history, Nissan gives this compact SUV a more off-road capable and rugged Rock Creek model similar to what you may have seen on its larger sibling, the fourth generation Nissan Pathfinder Rock Creek. The Rogue's exterior gets a unique front end with a 3-slotted grille, 17-inch wheels with Falcon Wild Peak all-terrain tires, lava red accents, and Rock Creek badging, letting you know that this is no regular Rogue. All of those added bits for the Rock Creek model look great, but I wish they would have added some underbody protection because, let's face it, when you're off-roading, sometimes you come across some rough terrain, and that added protection is great. But you do get a tubular roof rack that's rated to hold up to 220 pounds. And if you need a reminder, it's stamped right here. Can't hold me though, I'm buff. If you're hauling cargo on the inside, there's 31.6 cubic feet of space behind the rear seats with some cutouts on the side for smaller items. Fold the second row seats down for up to 74 cubic feet, and if you're in need of power, the Rock Creek model also includes a 12-volt power outlet in the cargo area. As far as people space, the Rogue does a good job accommodating passengers. I really like the entry height of the Rogue. You kind of just slide right in. And seating is comfortable. I'm 6'4", I have plenty of headroom, but because I'm tall and I like to stretch out my legs a little bit, I wish the seats would go a little bit farther back on its tracks. This is the most it can go. But the steering wheel is highly adjustable, and you get some soft touch points on your inboard and outboard armrests. I wish it was that soft on the center stack because if you're off-roading and your leg hits it, yeah, it's not as forgiving. These seats in the Rogue Rock Creek have a leatherette material with lava red stitching, and they're water repellent for easy cleanup. As far as the floor mats, we got carpet, but I'm sure all weather mats are an option, or they better be. Lava red stitching is found on the steering wheel, the dash, and continues to the rear seats where you'll find 2 USB-C ports on the back of the center console and standard rear seat vents. I was also pleasantly surprised at how much space was back there for a compact SUV. If you're tall and you've been designated to sit in the rear seats of the Rogue, you'll be just fine. I got plenty of headroom, and this seat is set for my ideal seating position, and it's as far back on its tracks as it can be. And I still feel comfortable with my legs. I got a little bit of room, and the back of the seats are nice and soft, so they're more forgiving on your knees. And my boots, they slide under the seat nicely. There is a bit of a hump in the middle, but it's not very tall, and middle seat occupants aren't hiked up that much because I still have some good headroom. And there's some nice soft touch points on your inboard armrest with a couple cup holders. And these rear seats are stadium style, so they're a little bit more elevated to give you a better view of the road to prevent car sickness. Along with this new Rock Creek model, Nissan brings new tech to the Rogue lineup. An 8-inch infotainment screen with wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto comes standard, and a 12.3-inch screen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and Google built-in comes on higher trim levels. Our Rock Creek tester gets an around view monitor with an off-road view that helps when maneuvering around obstacles. And higher trims now have an available 3D around view monitor and invisible hood view, which is a first for Nissan in the US market. The interior of the Rogue Rock Creek is a little modest, but it's functional. You get your lava red accents around the cabin, but I wish they would have included that nice 12.3-inch touchscreen here so you could get your camera angles displayed on a nice big screen. But you do get physical knobs and switches for your HVAC controls, and my favorite, a compartment for your sunglasses. And because this is an electronic shifter, you get even more space down here just in case you need it. All Rogues are powered by a 1.5-liter variable compression turbo 3-cylinder engine, pushing out 201 horsepower and 225 pound-feet of torque linked to a CVT. Front-wheel drive comes standard, but all-wheel drive is available and comes standard on the Rock Creek model. This mill works perfectly fine for the Rogue. It has adequate power, but acceleration can feel a little bit sluggish, but to the average driver, they probably won't even notice it. The CVT works just fine. It simulates gears, which, I mean, it gets rid of the droning, but it still is a CVT. If you want to have a more exciting driving experience, there are paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel, so you can roll through some simulated gears. And there are also drive modes down here to change up the driving dynamics. Right now, I'm going to throw it in sport because I'm going around all these little twisty turnies. This variable compression turbo engine decides when it's the best time to be most powerful or efficient on the fly. The Rogue gets up to an estimated 33 miles per gallon combined on front-wheel drive models and 31 miles per gallon combined with all-wheel drive, but the fuel economy numbers for the Rock Creek model aren't available just yet. And if you're looking to bring some toys along, the Rogue can tow up to 1,500 pounds when properly equipped. On paved roads, the Rogue Rock Creek has a nice and competent ride. I mean, it feels good, it's not too bumpy, it's pleasant, the steering feels nice. There's not a lot of road noise, even though we have these all-terrain tires on there, except a little bit of wind noise. And I'm loving the seating. The back of the seats are comfortable, and you also have this elevated view of the road. There is a little bit of body roll, which is expected because this is an SUV, but it's nothing significant, and this still feels very agile when you're driving it around the city. So if you really just wanted the Rock Creek look as an option just to drive on the road, you can technically do that. All Rogues come with Nissan Safety Shield 360 standard and includes automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, rear cross traffic alert, blind spot warning, lane departure warning, and now on higher trim levels, Pro Pilot Assist 2.1 driver assistance tech, which allows single lane hands-off freeway operation for drivers with their eyes on the road. But if you're looking at the Rock Creek, you're possibly looking to get away from paved roads and get a little dirty. And to help with that, we have our very own Jeff Glucker to help give us a little bit of insight taking this thing off-road.
I feel underdressed.
Along with its adventure-ready look, the Rogue Rock Creek has 8.2 inches of ground clearance, 19-degree approach, 23.6-degree departure, and 17.9-degree breakover angles, an off-road tuned suspension, an off-road drive mode, and hill descent control, which is exclusive to the Rock Creek model.
Now the thing with a vehicle like this is I almost consider these more like rally ready than off-road ready because they have a little bit more ground clearance, but a lot of that is just because there's a taller tire. It's not because they've raised the suspension up, it's not because they've, done major enhancements, but it's a nice improvement for families who maybe want to go camping and are going to run down some fire roads. Let's see what happens if we just dip in here into the dirt. I know I get some grip from those wild peaks. And it's intelligent four-wheel drive. The other knock against this, before we talk about the good, CVT. Nissan is moving away from CVTs in some of their vehicles, like the Pathfinder went back to a 9-speed, which is great. A CVT off-road, I don't think is the best thing. However, to give credit where credit's due, Subaru's been running CVTs for a while now, and Foresters and Crosstreks are actually pretty capable, especially when you add the Wilderness version of them. So this is like Nissan's version of a Wilderness. We've got an around view camera, which is a nice to have in an off-road vehicle, so we could see the stuff we're looking at. Now, I know those of you who actually go off-roading are like, well, they're not doing anything difficult. We're not setting out to do anything difficult. We're doing as much as an owner would do in one of these, which is just go, have some fun, get it a little bit dirty, maybe try to slide it a little bit in some gravel if they can find some. The wild peaks will get you there and get you back. It is not a Raptor, but it is not pretending to be a Raptor. But for you and I, just ripping around out here.
But I mean, like, you're right. You're not gonna do any gnarly off-roading in this. This is pretty much good to get you to your adventure and do your kayaking or biking or whatever you do that's extreme outside of the cabin of this.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I think if you can pack it enough, if you have a small enough family to go away for the weekend, or like a 2-person camping mobile, that could be really fun. Or if you throw a bike rack on the back and go mountain biking somewhere good, this will get you down to the trailhead and all that good stuff. This is a perfect example. You're on the road, but you get to the trailhead, you get to the dirt. You've got all terrains, so you should still be mindful of where you're putting the tires, but you can have a little bit of fun. Just don't send it too hard.
Not too hard, please. Pricing for a base front-wheel drive Nissan Rogue S model will start at $30,620, which reflects the destination charge. But if you're looking for all of the rugged deliciousness that is the Rogue Rock Creek, it starts at $36,810. There's also an available premium package for the Rock Creek that can be added for an extra $800 and adds features like wireless charging, power passenger seat, and a motion-activated liftgate. If you're ready to go on some adventures and you want to trade in your sedan for a Rogue Rock Creek or any other SUV or truck that can get you off the beaten path, go on KBB.com and get a fair purchase price. KBB.com, click the link above for more details. Some other rugged competitors in this compact SUV segment include the Toyota RAV4 TRD Off-Road, Ford Bronco Sport, Jeep Compass Trailhawk, and the Subaru Forester Wilderness whenever they decide to announce the new model. The 2025 Nissan Rogue is on sale now, and expect to see the Rock Creek model arriving to dealerships soon. The Rock Creek is a great addition to the Rogue lineup because it adds capability to a fuel-efficient and tech-filled compact SUV. And if you like all of that and you feel like it's adventure time, go check one out for yourself.